If something is about to change from Manchester United, as Ruben Amorim has hinted to his squad that is potentially going to be changing from a 3-4-3 to a 4-3-3 formation. And even though we did not see that at the moment on Monday, it's something we should be expecting that this Aston Villa and teams look at it, because definitely Manchester United have lost some players to injury and are losing some to the African Cup of Nations. So of course we are going to be short in squad, and that is the reason why Ruben Amorim is going to change the 4-3-3 formation. And even though he has hinted to his squad, I think it is something that's also been hinted and reported that Manchester United has worked on the 3-4-3 system in training for a long time. So that tells you that Manchester United sooner or later is going to be using the 4-3-3 formation in the Premier League. And this is something that has been not awaited ever since Ruben Amorim became the coach of Manchester United, because throughout his coaching career, he has been able to use the 3-4-3 system and the 4-4-2 system when he was in Casablanca. So that is definitely the situation of Manchester United. And so today we're definitely going to be talking about the shape and the formation of Manchester United, because I know that the shape will not affect the style of play of the team, because the manager can choose to press with the 3-4-3 or the 5-2-3 or the 4-2-3-1 depending on the style of play. But I think the formation does affect the kind of player that we feel in the team. And so with the 3-4-3, we know that Manchester United are often defending with the 5-man. And this is something that Manchester United has not been familiar with ever since they used Van Gaal, and Manchester United have not been used to defending with 5 men at the back. And this has sort of put Manchester United out of balance and some players out of position. So it is only natural that Manchester United moving to the back four is definitely going to help us, because definitely we have 2 central backs, we're going to have 2 full backs, we're going to have 2 wingers, and then we're definitely going to be having a striker like other teams. And just the 4-man back does not automatically make Manchester United to play better or to be in a more better shape. But I think it is a perfect balance for the kind of players we have currently at Manchester United. It's going to put us in a more better shape than the case of the system. So guys, if you want to predict the way Manchester United are going to go with the 3-4-3 system, this is just a sample of how Manchester United is going to potentially be in the 3-4-3 system. And I know that many people are so obsessed with this 3-4-3 system, but I feel that it just really changes little for Manchester United, because at the end of the day, in the first phase, you're going to find that Manchester United are going to building up in a more natural way, because definitely 2 central backs are going to split wide, and then you're going to have 2 full backs, which are potentially going to be staying wide to create the weight, or moving into the midfield to create that overload in the midfield to the part of the midfield to sort of give us some ease in terms of building up from the back. And then we have 2 actual midfield positions in Nene and Bruno Fernandes dropping deep to receive that ball, which is sort of natural for Manchester United for those players to be in that position, rather than bringing the matter needs for Maguire to come into the midfield to receive the ball with the back to the, which they might not be confident with. So using actual midfield technicians is actually very good at being natural for Manchester United. And so this is also going to give Manchester United a different way of playing, because it is going to make Manchester United to build up with the back four of situations which I've seen with Manchester United, and it's also going to make us to build up with the back three which I've seen numerous times in Manchester United. So in terms of building up in the back three, there are some moments whereby you could have Martinez, and Dalot building up in the back three, and there are some moments where Dalot is going to overlap, where Martinez is going to overlap, whereby there are going to be some pentagon shapes on both sides of the pitch to try to rotate and try to play as much as possible. And this is going to give some kind of high level of unpredictability to them, because the opponents cannot be able to predict who Manchester United are going to be using to be building up from the back. They're going to having different switches of personnel and individuals that are going to be building up from the back to goal. So it is definitely going to create some high level of tactical flexibility, advanced level of tactical flexibility for Ruben Amorim in the Manchester United team, because then he has different level of players building up from the back and trying to also create options, not just in the middle of the back, but also in their own attacking situation. And so another advantages of using this 3-4-2 system is that Manchester United is going to be having trouble with that, because it is definitely impossible to actualize or fully utilize the full potential of your team in the Premier League, especially when you have a lot of high intensity by using those 2 midfielders, because we have seen a lot of times in the Premier League this season whereby Manchester United has been outnumbered in the middle of the park. We have been dominated, but I think with 2 midfielders, Manchester United is going to have more control, more quality in the middle of the park, because then we have Bruno Fernandes, which is the best number 10 in the league. We have Kobe Mino, which is one of the best young players in the Premier League that is press resistant that can play his back to go and that can wiggle the ball out of tight spaces. And then we have Casemiro, has a very wonderful defensive prowess and defensive actions, tackles, interceptions. He's also very good, especially in long passing. So Manchester United have all the attributes that we need in the midfield position for you to excel, and then we potentially bring in Manu Ugarte, could potentially bring in Mr. Mount, which is an engine, a very wonderful box-to-box midfielder that can be able to provide it in the number 6 position, in the number 8 position, and also in the number 10 position. So this definitely changes a lot of things for Manchester United playing with the midfielders, and also in terms of attack, we want to sort of improve the quality we have in attack and try to influence the way that they play, particularly Matthias Cunha in the 3-4-2 system in the left hand position. He doesn't stick to the position. He's a player that likes to field across the front three. He's a player that likes to roam around the front and try to effect the game in many ways other than being a man that tries to hold the net. So in terms of using the kind of Matthias Cunha, I think guys like Matthias Cunha, their output is going to be good because instead of him dropping deep and trying to carry the ball over large distances, I think he's going to be more for that place to go because instead of dropping deep, Manchester United seems to have a lot of midfielders or the fullbacks that are potentially going to be batting to the midfield to take the ball forward. And so Matthias Cunha is going to be more closer to goal. He's going to affect the game more better when he's more closer to goal than when he's dropping deep and that's to carry the ball over large distances and try to create attacking actions or situations. So guys, I want you guys to put your thoughts in the comment section. I want you guys to like, to share, to subscribe to that Twitter for us to making more videos of Manchester United. So see you guys in the next video.